thought I'd continue from where I left off. I think maybe rather than initially talk about the addiction, I would start with my life before it, and just talk about all the past that I learned to bury from a very young age. Learned to ultimately not deal with, even though I thought I had at times dealt with things. Not my whole life's been terrible. I've had periods where it's been good. It's like the last 8 years before all this addiction came to light and destroyed my life. Despite the addiction itself, I had probably my first real happiness in my marriage, and the woman I ended up marrying ultimately was the love of my life, and I completely broke her with everything that happened, and that's probably the toughest thing I've ever had to face. And knowing that I'll never have that again, never have someone to bring that kind of happiness, that the only thing I ever really wanted in life. Thought I had a great relationship, but obviously not with the addiction going on, and the level of denial that involved lies. It's just the complete opposite of who I thought I was, and it's destroyed all my core beliefs, core values, who I thought I was. My identity's completely disintegrated, and my heart's just shattered. I've had my heart broken many times before, and you'll learn that with this collection of videos, but this is just I just don't see any way back from this. It's not like I can undo my past. It's not like I can undo my choices. They're all terrible, horrific choices that I just regretted them at the time, but they couldn't stop doing them because that's the nature of addiction. It's selfish, self-centered, blinkered, blinding. It's just a disease that's not understood. I mean, it's becoming more understood as time goes on, but at this point it's still not fully categorized. I mean, to call it an addiction is probably not completely accurate. It's compulsive sexual behavior that's more similar to eating disorder or OCD or maybe a gambling addiction. So it's a process addiction rather than a substance, but it has the same effects as addiction in terms of what it does to your mind and your personality and your life. So yeah, I tend to use this. It's one people can understand. So I'll use that from now on. But it's trying to explain addiction to a non-addict is seems ultimately futile. But I'm going to do my best to explain my situation and explain what this disease has done to me. But the first thing I want to make clear is it's not even really about sex. It's not about sex drive. It's not about morals. To be honest, it bypassed those. Hence the lying and the deceiving and the acting out. It's the rituals of it all. It's nothing to do with sex or relationships. It's an intimacy disorder. I'm ultimately unable to I have been unable to, until obviously I'm doing these videos, been unable to communicate my feelings, my thoughts, my problems, really identify my needs. It's part of that's the addiction, and part of that's the ways I learn to cope with a lot of serious trauma and psychological issues that I never really understood. I'm only starting to through therapy. The more I understand, the more just messed up I feel. My whole life has been pointless, broken mess. Lacks direction, hope, faith, or anything that's remotely going to get me through this whole season of my life. That's probably just going to overshadow everything else anyway. That's one of the worst things, and it's obviously suffering from depression and anxiety since it happened. Since it's all come out, and I'm no longer feeding the addiction either. It's double whammy. It's lies that depression tells you overlap with the lies that addiction tells you, and ultimately just left unable to see, feel anything anybody else seems to feel naturally every day. I find easy, and I used to find them easy myself when it was. I thought everything was going well. Before I realised how completely disintegrated my life had become. But yeah, I'll start at the beginning in the next section of this video. I'm not saying it's the worst things that could happen, but a lot of those things are bad. But other people hasn't had the same effect on them. But it's basically what's happened to me. So that's all I can be honest about. Okay.